TNN Motorsports exclusive coverage of the Slick 5500 is brought to you by Chevrolet, inviting you to see all the new Chevy cars for 1994. They've just waved the green flag. We're back to racing. Jimmy Spencer's car still being repaired behind the wall as Mark Martin hauls them down into turn number 1. Jeff Gordon and Ernie Irvan behind him.
There's Kyle Petty, the car that Mark Martin had some concern for, right there in 4th place and coming to the lead.
Just moving past Ron Hornaday Jr., the Southwest Tour champ, at number 76. Then Bill Elliott. And then Harry Gant working, imagine that, on the outside.
See Jeff Gordon there, he's battling for it late because he took on 2 tires and the other cars took on 4, but it kind of helped out when they had that caution there. It kind of brought the cars and cooled the tires where he's in pretty good shape now. Look at Kyle Petty come into play here.
A lot of smoke out of one car, turn 3. Looks like he's going to get it down to the apron, and very little slipping and sliding. Mike Chase. Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt, for the first time today, are within eyesight of one another. Wallace is 7th, Earnhardt 9th. Mike Chase goes to the garage without incident.
Wallace was trying to get around Harry Gant. Earnhardt's trying to get around Sterling Marlin. They're both trying to get on up front.
Here's Glenn.
Well, Brett Bodine has been running in the top 10 all day. We find him behind the wall now. Brett, what's wrong?
Well, it looks like some kind of debris come up off the racetrack and hit a cut in the bottom radiator hose, you know. Real tough break. This is the best showing we've had out here at Phoenix, and, you know, even with my injury and all, we were running up front, and it just felt real good to be up there running. Quaker State forward, we'll get them next time.
How does that new pavement feel?
I'll tell you, it's really great. A lot of great traction out there, and the race is real competitive.
Okay, Mike.
Brett Bodine behind the wall. As you saw Kyle Petty make the pass on Ernie Irvan, and here comes Earnhardt underneath Sterling Marlin. Rusty Wallace just ahead.
That's pretty impressive. 27th to 3rd already for Kyle Petty.
The other thing of Kyle is getting the job. Now he's going around up in 2nd place. You see up front up there going around, right up under Jeff Gordon. When Mark got that call a while ago, the 42 was the next best car. They had a pretty good read on the situation. Here he comes.
We'll see him now straight in his rearview mirror, about half a straightaway back.
Irvin trying to take advantage of that inside line. There he goes. He's also made the pass.
You think all these cars are going to be painted black next year?
They can't do that, Doug.
Well, it's been the way to be up front.
Well, I know one that'll be a nice, pretty pink next year. Congratulations, Neil.
Thank you, buddy.
We look forward to watching you next year run some.
Yeah, I get to run a few races. Looking forward to it.
Neil's going to run 6 races in the Country Time car. They're going to run a limited schedule and start with the Daytona 500, and you're going to get to run at Indianapolis.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's a big thing. I wanted to go to Indy, so we put the program together. James Finch, some help from the 4-car and 3-car. We're going to see if we can run some races.
And the car is going to be pink lemonade?
Yeah, and I'll have me a little pink suit probably. I'll be ready one.
Oh, you're going to be so cute.
Oh, thank you.
You're going to look like the Energizer Bunny. They give you a pink suit.
I might get energized.
Here's your Napa Field standing update. Napa, we keep America running. Shows you where your favorite driver is at 90 laps.
Boy, Gant got outside a little bit, and Earnhardt and the 1-car Rick Mast went around him.
Jimmy Spencer was in the pits for 5 minutes, 52 seconds. He's now back on track.
There's Bill Elliott. He's going up on that 24 car himself. Right along with Rusty.
4th place. At stake here. Mark Martin's lead on Kyle Petty diminishing a little bit. It's about 2 3/4 seconds.
Yeah, while they were battling, Mark got a big lead on him, but Kyle's whittling away at that thing.
I believe if you watch Jeff Gordon's car, he's having a little bit of handling problems. I bet he won't do that anymore. Even for track position, he'll take on 4 when everybody else does.
Yeah, if you don't pay that price immediately, you pay it 30 or 40 laps along when those tires get a lot more wear than the rest of the car. So if things go true to form, he should fade a little bit quicker than the rest of these cars.
Kyle Petty's knocking about a 1/10 of a second a lap out of Mark Martin's lead. We'll pick up on that in a bit once he gets closer. For now, we'll stay right here. We're at 4th place. Jeff Gordon is holding off Bill Elliott for the moment.
See, that's what we're talking about this racetrack. There's Elliott. He got down there to try to get on that 24. Ooh, Rusty and him got together off that corner. He got down there to try to pass the 24, and the 2 almost got around him on the outside.
Yeah, he paid for that move. Sterling Marlin got up under Rusty and made the pass. Now there's Earnhardt up on the back of Rusty Wallace's car.
Report from Jeff Gordon's pit. He took on only 2 tires because they'd only run 8 laps since the previous caution, and he wanted to get out front quickly enough so he could lead a lap, pick up 5 points.
That's a good call on that point. They did exactly what they wanted to do.
Well, he's in 11th in the standings. He's only 10 points behind Ricky Rudd going into today's race, so they're counting bonus points here like everybody else.
Yeah, and you don't get to go to the banquet if you're not in the top 10, so he's working really hard to get to go to that banquet.
And Harry Gatt's only 1 point behind him.
Everybody wants to be at center stage, but it's nice to be able to sit there and at least see the stage in that top 10.
That graphic we just showed you. Right now, Rusty, who came into this race 70 points ahead of Earnhardt, would gain only 3. They finish in these positions. Here's Ralph.
This is a list of all the different sets of tires that Rusty Wallace has. These 3 over here are supposedly the best 3 sets they have. They'll save those for the later part of the day. This, in fact, is one of the tires from set number 8. This number right here is a batch number. They have pulled these 3 sets aside because they say this batch is the best of the bunch, even though all the compounds are the same. Now, Neil Bonnet, how different can one particular batch be over another if all the compounds are exactly the same?
Well, through the course of building all these tires, they come with the same, supposedly the same compound, the same tire number for every team. But when they'll find one set that'll run a little bit better, it's no different than somebody making a cake. One of them might taste a little bit better with the ingredients you put in it. For some reason, they think that batch came out better. They can't make all the tires at one time, so out of batch numbers, and they'll work with stuff like that.
It's also a rubber compound, and when it sits around for a month before they use it, sometimes it hardens up just a little bit more than a batch that's made a month later.
Just like that fresh cake, the one that's 2 months old. So these guys look for every angle they can to try to find a little bit of an edge.
While you guys are at work in the kitchen, Mark Martin's leading this race over Kyle Petty.
Well, he's got it cooking. What the heck?
Yeah, Kyle Petty, Ernie Irvan, and Bill Elliott. Harry Gant made a big announcement a few weeks ago about his plans for 1994 and beyond as Harry runs around Phoenix.
Well, the first plan is going to win a lot of races, but I'm going to be real busy in '94 with our farewell tour and appearances and everything. So that'll be my last year, and I'm going to be really busy. So we're looking forward to '94.
.108 laps complete here at Phoenix. Mark Martin has a lead of 2.3 seconds. Next Sunday, the Pantry 500 from Hickory, North Carolina. For the second year in a row, TNN will televise the last scheduled Busch race of this 1993 season. However, we remind you that back in March, the Slick 5300 Atlanta was snowed out, and they will run that in conjunction with the Winston Cup race in a couple of weeks. But next weekend, we're live at Hickory for the last short track shootout of the Busch Series.
And talk about a shootout at Hickory. We were up there testing Tuesday, and they're running about 3/10 of the track record.
Wow.
With the new tires and everything. It's going to be quite a show at Hickory, and then right again at Atlanta.
Is David going to run there?
He's trying to. We were up there testing all week, and we'll get things organized.
Folks, David's his son. I'm talking like everybody knows everybody here, but David Bonnet's a pretty good race car driver. He's third fastest qualifier at Rockingham.
Here's a pretty good little race car driver. Look at Elliott. He's got that thing on that 24, buddy. He's, you know, all week long you could sense it with these guys. They're wanting to win a race. Not only want to, they need to.
That's it.
And I mean, they're going for it today.
And it's a beer battle out of turn 2 as Rusty's right up on the back bumper of Elliott.
Which way do you go? Rusty's saying inside, outside. Looks like this inside will be a little bit better.
Yeah.
And now the 24 has a nice option to move back 3 positions.
Take 3 steps backward. This is 8 seconds behind the race leader, Mark Martin. Brett Bodine is back out onto the track after making repairs, as is Jimmy Spencer. They're going to move up on Loy Allen Jr. in the Country Time car. Drops that Ford down to the inside.
See Darrell Waltrip trying to get up under Earnhardt there.
I'm telling you, all week long, Waltrip has been a real stout race car.
He's been good here. Here's Jeff Gordon, who started ninth. You see his progression up and down the field. When you talk about Waltrip, who's at the back of that pack, his last 4 finishes here.
Whoa, Sterling, you just about bought the farm there, kid.
He tried to go inside the 24, but he hadn't cleared that car on the left yet. Hung that left rear quarter on him and about turned him around. You know, you try to thread that needle all the time, but sometimes you miss.
Yes. Now, Waltrip there was 3rd here last year. His last 4 finishes at Phoenix, 4th, 4th, 2nd, and 3rd. He is a contender here. Let's show you this again. Well, let's show you this. Here it is.
What's the 8 car? He's going to try to turn on the 24 and cut across in front of the 71 and get in that a little bit open. The 71's coming up a little bit. He's going to hang that quarter panel. Didn't look that bad from this angle, but straight on. He wiggled it pretty good off that corner.
That 71 is Terry Fisher, one of the West Coast drivers.
Look at Earnhardt sitting there saying, "Don't do this, man."
Yeah, that's a better angle.
Yeah, it looks a little bit different from that side.
Let's check with Glenn.
Well, with Ray Evernham, that's Jeff Gordon's crew chief, and Ray, the car seems to be backing up a little bit. Is it because of the decision to only change 2 tires, or you got a problem?
No, no problem. It's exactly what it is. We chose to take 2 tires. We needed to lead the race and hope for track position. Our car's pretty good on 4 tires, and I think we'll be all right. We're going to slide back a little bit, but it's still early yet.
He's right. It's very early. He's got a lot of time to make up for that.
Rusty Wallace is back on the move. He had given up a spot to Sterling Marlin, but he has just passed Bill Elliott on the low side going into turn number 3. Blue Wallace back up into 4th place behind Mark Martin, Kyle Petty, and Ernie Irvin.
Well, he got a run off that corner, drove right by Elliott.
At Phoenix, 116 laps complete. And we'll be right back after this.